Welcome back to SwitchCorner, my name is Alex and today we're going to be taking a look at my favourite Switch deals that are coming in under $10 and I'm covering the US, Canada, UK, EU and Australia. Keeping it quick this week with Nintendo's E3 presentation looming on Monday. I think we're going to see a major Switch sale drop in just a few days, so it's a little bit quieter in the eShop right now. That said though, look, still some great budget deals here, so hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family and let's get started. First up for the week then, we've got OlliOlli Switch Stance with Tony Hawk dropping later in the month. This is probably the best skate experience we have on the console right now, or at least until then, and it's well loved and with good reason. It's absolutely addictive. It's a BAFTA winning game though, and it throws you into just a ton of levels and challenges. It gives you well over 100 tricks, and the idea is simple enough: just survive these 2D locations. This bundle then, it throws in both the first and second entry, and you will easily get your money's worth, with this matching the all-time low of 75% off. Fight Gore then, for me, was a pickup in a previous sale because it just went super budget. It's actually from East Asia stuff that have some decent releases, and now it's getting even better with a new all-time low of 50% off. I was really impressed though, and that's not surprising. It's actually from the same devs as the incredibly respected Project Starship. It's an old school though, like think vertical shooter. It takes you to this cool gothic world, and then it just asks you to survive against waves of enemies in locations that are randomized. If you like high scores though and brutal difficulty, this may be a good choice for you. Puzzle fans, and a surprise hit for me last year was Bridge Constructor The Walking Dead. I always enjoyed the formula of the bridge construction genre, but it was the Portal crossover that kind of made me sit up and realise how much you could actually do with it. Then this Walking Dead one came along and it kind of built on that idea, and yeah, seriously impressed. You're guiding your survivors, including Daryl from the show, and you're going through this world. Not only will you need to build platforms to walk on or drive across as well, but also you'll be tackling these enemies, these walkers as well. It throws in this element of things like traps and actions, and yeah, it is challenging. I was really impressed though, and I think fans of either the show or bridge constructing in general, they will find a lot to like here. This is a new all-time low though with 40% off. Slayin 2 then is an underappreciated gem. The original game was a pretty major hit from what I understand on iOS and Android. The idea though, it's an easy to pick up, hard to kind of master experience. Here, the basic combat though is just in a top lane and a bottom lane, and you'll be clearing out wave after wave of enemies as they come from both sides of the screen. It's near like single button basically, but it overwhelms very, very quickly. Expect though 8 classes to play as, a story and arcade mode, boss moments, and it should definitely keep you busy. This 2-player local play as well is surprisingly good as well. 75% off though, this marks a new all-time low price, and I'd say with this one, watch a full review, just get a good grasp of all the different mechanics. So we spoke about this one last week as the sale was available in the UK, EU, AU, but Blossom Tales joins the sales in the US and Canada. This is a new all-time low with 75% off, so it absolutely deserves another shout out. It's a Zelda clone, tongue-in-cheek sense of humour, a ton of references to Zelda as well. Won't be going into detail about it again, but well worth your cash if you like the old school NES era Zelda. Bandai Namco then are quickly becoming known for their sizable sales, and that is no different this time around. They've got a few favourites that are hitting all-time lows. We'll quickfire these, but Katamari Damacy REROLL is here with 75% off. Fantastic little puzzle-like game. You roll around rebuilding the universe by simply sticking to things. It's a strange one for sure, but an absolute blast. Then Sword Art Online Hollow Realization. I actually picked this one up in a sale myself. It's mostly considered better than Fatal Bullet, which is also available on the Switch. It did not disappoint. Now if you like your JRPGs, it's worth a look. It's got this MMO kind of theme to it all. A huge 85% off though for this one. And then finally from Bandai Namco, we got Taiko no Tatsujin. New all-time low price here as well with 80% off. This is my favourite deal from Bandai this week. It's basically a drum-based rhythm game that is an absolute blast. You can play with Joy-Cons, you can use motion controls, or you can even buy a standalone drum for the game, which I have, and it is absolutely awesome. Not cheap, but I've definitely got my money's worth out of that piece of kit. My pickups of the week then, meaning never played them, so can't necessarily recommend them, but I'm actually grabbing two. The first one was a game I never thought I would touch, but House Flipper. Now this game gets some really great reviews, a few poor ones as well honestly, but yeah, some of the praise thrown this way was just surprising, and supposedly it's just this addictive mix of, you know, destruction, construction, design, and almost budget planning, I guess, which is definitely not something I typically look for in a game. I always find myself though curious about these almost life sims, so I've decided to give this one a shot. I'm hoping basically for something that's kind of chill that I can sink an hour in here and there, and it's a new all-time low with 60% off. Then I'm grabbing All Walls Must Fall. Now, full transparency here, I actually already own the game, I just haven't played enough of it to fully get behind it. What I have seen though is absolutely solid, especially when you factor in this huge 70% off. It's a new all-time low price. A tech noir tactics game set in Berlin, the Cold War never ended. Now you find yourself in the future in what appears to essentially be a never-ending war. Think isometric action, which then combines real-time and turn-based with all this like kind of great neon-like design. Not an easy game from what I've seen kind of in the early stages, but strategy fans, you should do some digging, see if it's going to be for you. This is just such a low price point. I think it's a very difficult one to pass up if you don't mind taking, you know, a tiny bit of risk. Bounties then is a retro style RPG with a western setting, which I love, and it even supports up to 4 players local. This is one I was supposed to review here on the channel. I got distracted by something else, never did happen, so I'm going to throw this in some sort of like review roundup at some point. A fun story though, as you set out to save your home, you'll be hunting outlaws, and then the combat, it's like a fast-paced turn-based approach almost to it. Looks good though, plays good, and if you are like an old school RPG fan, this is going to be a great buy with 50% off. Our final 3 games of the week then, we're starting with Slayin, the only game today that's not at its lowest. It's actually a little bit higher, still more than worth this price, so you know it's got 60% off. This game is absolutely fantastic. It's incredibly challenging stuff as well, but the idea is you're swallowed by a giant worm and now you must escape as its stomach acid pursues you. It's Twitch platforming, so think, you know, Super Meat Boy, so yeah, hard as hell at points. I love the whole style to this one though. The visuals give me like a modern day kind of OG Game Boy vibe, and yeah, that colour palette is stunning. It's a hidden gem though on the system, and I think everybody should be checking it out. Our penultimate game of the week then, that is Yuppie Psycho Executive Edition. For sure one of the weirder games I played in late 2020. I wasn't really sure what I was getting myself into, but on reflection I'm happy I checked it out, as it's more than just simply weird. It actually has a good story, fun gameplay to back it all up. The idea though, you basically work for what's known as Consutructor. It's penned as a job survival horror game. You're out essentially hunting a witch in this dystopian corporate world. It's for sure one you should watch a full review on first, as it's definitely deep with its mechanics, but 50% off, it's matching the all-time low, and yeah, as I said again, like real good stuff, real weird, and if you want something that's just a little bit different, this is going to be a good direction to go. So our final game of the week then, this one is UK EU AU exclusive, but a sure take, one of my favourite games of 2020, a stunning little just bite-sized adventure. The idea, you arrive on vacation, you decide to basically trek to the highest peak in this area. You have some personal, shall we say, challenges at the time, so this seemed like a very good way to kind of escape. It has similarities though with Animal Crossing, with lots of like locals to talk to, and you're going to wrap this game up in maybe an hour or two, but what an hour or two that is. A heavily stylized visual style then, and it's just all about overcoming opposition, and it's something special that has a very simple message that it absolutely commits to. And that is it, a quieter week as I said, but E3 is here. I will be live streaming the full Nintendo event on Monday along with the Treehouse after party, or however they pen that piece. That will be over on Twitch though. I will be linking that down below. I've got some high hopes for it though, so let me know in the comments adding any sales to the library this week, but also what do you hope to see out of E3 from Nintendo? With that then, a shout out to the patrons of the channel who are just going above and beyond to support SwitchCorner. It helps more than you know, so thank you all so much. Now if you do want to check that out for yourself, I have linked it in the video description down below. Then hit subscribe if you love the Switch as much as we all do here. Join our growing family, and I'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.